So for a full year, we've been using that 12-volt air conditioner from OutEquip. It's gone through the Texas summers and winters. In this video, I'm going to be answering some common questions that I get because after 1 year of use, the honeymoon phase is over. And most importantly, we're going to answer the question, has it held up and would I buy it again? Hey everybody, welcome back to Random Fix. So this is going to be a 1 year update about my experience of using the OutEquip 12-volt air conditioner, and mine does have the auxiliary heater built into it, which I'll talk about a little bit more. And I got my son with me as he often uses that air conditioner every day when we go down to the park. And this van is not just for camping, this is my daily driver. And so if we're gonna go play basketball, we jump in the van, he turns on the AC. So I'm gonna let him tell you guys about his experience of using this. Now, the reason I went with the OutEquip air conditioner is because I don't want to go and carry some heavy, loud, and sometimes very expensive generator, which I have to go and then service, change the oil, put gas into it. This is ultra quiet and it's 12 volts. And because it's 12 volts, it's a lot more efficient. And so I just use power stations. You could go through and use 12-volt batteries for this. And I'll show you guys my setup. It's really easy, and my power stations are 12-volt native. So they're right here, and these are from Volt. And the best part about them is I don't oftentimes even plug into shore power. So I haven't topped off my batteries for close to a month, and I'm still at 90-something%, even though I use the air conditioning daily for a couple of hours when we go down to the park. When I am driving, this charges it, and I have 2 alternator chargers. I only normally use one, and it's been a really good experience. And I do happen to have one of the bigger camper vans. This is the 170 extended, and even for this particular van, given the fact that it's black, it's a darker color, it can get a little bit hotter in the summertime. This air conditioner is enough in places such as Galveston, Texas, and there's 4 people in the van.
Yeah, I remember the night in Galveston. Me and the family were really scared of high tide because it really gets to like really high and it was gonna get close to the van. But other than that, it was pitch black outside and it's really hot and humid. And inside the van, it was like paradise weather because of that OutEquip AC.
So now let's talk about the noise level. And I have this set on the turbo mode on the highest fan speed. And to be honest with you guys, the most amount of noise that the unit makes is actually from the fan. So if you use a lower speed on the fan, it is definitely going to get quieter. So let's move this to the back where I normally sleep, so we can judge the sound levels. And this is how quiet it is with everything off. Now, I would be doing everybody a disservice if I wasn't completely honest. The OutEquip is a good air conditioner, but there's no air conditioner in the world that's going to make up for insulation, making sure that you minimize thermal loss. And in this van, I have 3M thin insulate. I have a ceiling fan. So if it is really hot, I will turn on that ceiling fan to go and suck that hot air out, turn on the OutEquip, and then I have another smaller fan to blow the air around, just because we want to make sure that the cold air gets everywhere. If you are going to be using a OutEquip AC like this, and the vehicle that you're using has poor or no insulation, you can still survive. I just highly recommend placing the AC right above the midsection of the person. So you're going to get a direct hit of that cold air, and that will definitely keep you cool in those summer nights. I'm sitting below this, and even with the door open, I can feel that wind hitting me, and it's doing great. One of the biggest concerns for any user of a 12-volt AC is going to be the power consumption. And the power consumption is actually really easy to understand. And I think about 95% of it is based on the speed of the fan. So if you increase the amount of airflow that comes out by increasing the fan speed, you're gonna go and use a lot more power. So I just changed this to the lowest setting, and the power consumption went from about 60 amps, and it's gonna drop into the 30s. And for best temperatures, sometimes the highest fan speed is not going to give you the best temperature. So I normally like to go to the second to highest setting, and then I'll set the temperature to the lowest without using the turbo mode, and this oftentimes gives me the best temperature. And currently the air is at about 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, one of the biggest factors when it comes down to a 12-volt air conditioner is going to be reliability and consistency. So after a whole year of heavy use, with us having 4 people in this camper van going around the country, I'm happy to report to you guys that it is definitely working just as it did on day one, and the airflow and the temperatures have always been consistent. I still got the original batteries in the remote. The remote is really handy, and I'll leave you guys a review video to this and a complete install. So if you guys want to learn more about all the different features, I'll go over that in that video. So nobody wants water inside their camper van or an RV, so seal integrity is key. And when I first got the OutEquip air conditioner, I did receive a different gasket than what is included now. The new gasket is definitely a lot easier to use, and after I made the switch to the updated gasket, and I'm happy to report I've incurred 0 leaks and everything is working smoothly, and it's definitely holding up. So a lot of people don't like getting on top of their roofs. I actually love getting on top of my camper van, and I built a deck around the air conditioner, not for protection, just for added convenience, as we want to be able to use this area. And I'm happy to report I've only had one instance where I've had to come up here because of the air conditioner. And what happened is a branch actually fell, and the fan was basically nicking the branch, and I basically just had to pull that out. So I definitely recommend not parking underneath a tree if that is possible. And if we look at the casing here, the casing looks good, no discoloration. It is not going to be some flimsy plastic, nice and sturdy. All the hardware was in place, other than having to just be aware that branches and leaves can fall into the fan area. I think this is going to be pretty much a maintenance-free experience, and the deck is not a bad idea. Check it out, really easy. Again, I just used 80/20, and there it is.
So overall, the OutEquip AC is very durable, it's reliable, and it's mid-range quiet. I think the OutEquip AC is a really good product. With that being said, I would use this AC in another camper van. And the very first thing I do when I get inside my camper van is actually turn on this OutEquip AC. So whenever we're at the park and I get really hot or I need a snack, I just hop right in the van and it's nice and cool in there, and it gives me a nice relief.
Now, another thing that my particular unit has is actually a built-in heater. However, it's not really giving me the hot air where I need it, and it doesn't feel really warm. So I found a much better solution that was like 30 bucks, and I'll show you guys that now. So I actually found this heater. This is a 12-volt heater, and this was 30 bucks. And this was my fix for 12-volt heating. And unless it's under 40 degrees, this actually works pretty good. All right, guys, so after one full year of use, I can tell you guys that the OutEquip AC is definitely working out, and it's easy to install, which is the most important part for me, because if you can't get it in, can't use it, you're not going to be able to benefit from it. I was able to install it myself with just my kids. Didn't need to go and hire a crane to lift it in. More impressive than that is the fact that it's actually leak-free after a year. It comes with an updated gasket, and it's efficient, quiet, and it gets the job done. And if you happen to have a camper van or RV, I would definitely recommend it. If I find any special coupon codes down below, I will leave those for you there, as well as the unboxing video, the install video, the 4-month video, so you guys can see how this whole thing played out in the progression. If this guy did a good job with the video today, please let him know. And I appreciate you guys watching. As always, guys, make it a great day, and thanks again.